In the heart of Kiambu County, Anthony Chege Wanjiku works quietly, his talent shining through the artistry of nails and makeup. Beyond his brushes and tools, Anthony's life is intertwined with a constant silent battle. Born HIV positive, he lives with a fear that many cannot imagine.
And my mom committed suicide when I was 2 years. I was left with my uncles and my shosh. So I've been taking ARVs from the time I was a kid. But I came to realize that I'm HIV positive when I was in class 7.
Anthony, a member of a discordant couple, where one partner is HIV positive and the other is negative, carries the weight of uncertainty.
The people who we are dating who are HIV positive, HIV negative, they start learning away from us. And when they start learning away from us, it will be like they are instilling back the stigma that was back there in 1990s. So the stigma will be back because everyone will be knowing like, okay, if the medication for ARVs are not available in Kenya, so these people who are HIV positive, they will be able to transmit the virus to us, yani in an easy way, because it won't be like before.
In Kenya, more than 1.3 million people live with HIV, and Kiambu County, like many others, is deeply affected. Kiambu is among the top 10 counties in Kenya with the highest number of people living with HIV.
58%, nearly 60% is in 10 counties, which is in Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Siaya, Nairobi, Nakuru, Mombasa, and Kiambu, Kakamega, and Kisii counties account for 60% of the HIV pandemic.
In this county alone, there are over 53,000 people facing a crisis that is rarely seen by the outside world, a crisis where the fear of stigma, infection, and access to life-saving treatment looms large.
Sai tuko gizani, hakuna mtu anajua anything that is happening. Because chenye tunajua tu ni the news that are spreading, like medications za HIV, zisha kuwa cut short. Unaona? Na venye zimekuwa hivyo, wenye tumepoteza kazi ofya sahi hatufanyi hiyo kazi ya peer educators. So tumefika to a point, kila mtu sahi tuko just in short, we are all in fear. Nobody knows what next.
The possible lack of access to antiretroviral drugs threaten the lives of many, with dwindling stocks and the looming shortage of funding. People living with the virus are left vulnerable. Anthony too lives in fear, wondering if he will get his next dose.
It hasn't affected my adherence personally, but mentally it may affect in a way like I'm in fear. I don't know what will happen next. I don't know what will happen in future. We don't know what is gonna happen.
Kisumu, another region heavily impacted by HIV, leads the country with the highest number of people living with the virus.
Kisumu County is one of the counties that has been heavily dependent on donors, and this is something that we can worry about, and this is something that we must also think about and see how to go about it.
Over 135,000 people, each one with a story of survival and uncertainty.
1 month, or you are given 2 weeks, or there is that rationing, definitely it has a toll and effect on us, and it has happened. Definitely we have that fear, because as a person living with HIV, if 80% of our HIV programming is donor dependent, that is 40% global fund, 40% PEPFAR, and the government gives in 20%, and that 20% is about staffing. Because this 80%, that's where we get our commodities and medication. And definitely that is scary.
And it's not just the patients who suffer. Healthcare workers like Gilbert Olwayo, a counselor, live with HIV too.
Na vile wanaweza kumeza dawa yao kwa njia mzuri, bila kuwa na hofu wala kuwa na shaka kwa maisha yao.
Kisumu, after Nairobi County, is home to the highest number of the healthcare workers engaged in HIV care. Over 3,700 healthcare professionals work tirelessly, offering care, treatment and support, but they too are left uncertain as funding for the HIV response continues to dwindle.
Kama hili likifanyika, kwa sababu hatukutarajia sisi wote tumekuwa na changamoto, na hatujui tunaweza kufanya namna gani ili tutoke katika hili jangwa.
International funding has been the backbone of Kenya's fight against HIV for over 2 decades. But with the recent halt in funding from key donors like the United States government, uncertainty is creeping into every corner of the fight.
This meeting comes at a crucial time as we work towards a whole-of-government approach to develop localized solutions. As the Ministry of Health, I have led bilateral discussions with the Chargé d'Affaires of the United States government to understand the executive order and advocate for advance notice in future actions.
Kenya faces a daunting challenge ahead. The national government is calling for increased domestic resource allocation for HIV programs. But with the country's financial challenges, the road ahead is uncertain.
Because many of them are not coming, and many of them are not taking drugs as they used to take. So there's a chance for drug resistant kuonekana. Cases kama hizi zinaenda kupatikana hapo mbele. Unless serikali ingilie katikati ione inaweza kufanya namna gani ili cases kama hizo zisitokee in future.
It costs around 15,000 shillings annually to take care of one HIV patient.
If we avert new HIV infections alone, in the next 20 years, we will have an economic benefit of 25 billion Kenya shillings. So it is an important economic consideration to ensure that we stop the HIV infections.
With the country's HIV program ranking 7th in the world, Kenya needs 5.24 billion Kenya shillings for the 2024-2025 financial year and 13.5 billion shillings for the following year to sustain its HIV response.
As it is, the only thing we have in budget is actually prioritized. And the government of Nigeria actually saying, we must look at all the programs we have. We have roads, we have other things, and we have health. We must say, what is it we are going to give priority?
For Anthony, the fear is always there like the quiet hum of the world around him. His work, his life, his future all hang in the balance of a fragile system, uncertain at best and broken at worst.
Venye donors hawako, venye hakuna support ya support people who are HIV positive, hakuna NGOs, so hizi clinics zishaondolewa na tumerudi normal venye kulikuanga kitambo sana when stigma was very high. Na sasa ikirudi hivyo, sasa kutakuwa na a lot of stigma na madawa saa kila mtu ako na fear ya nini ita happen next.
The struggle is not just his, it's the struggle of 1.3 million Kenyans living with HIV, each one facing an uncertain future, each one fighting not just the virus, but the fear that they may one day be abandoned. Eunice Omolo, K24 TV.